Hello, folks. Conan, what's up? How are you doing, man? It is a lovely Tuesday here. Hope your Tuesday is going well as well. I was planning on getting tacos before this, and I ended up finding out that the taco event I was going to was canceled. But I made up for it with a burger and really good fries. So, not quite what I was expecting, but we made it work. So let us see. I have altered some of the video settings, and I'm curious how they are working. I did some stuff with frame rate, and I did some stuff with bit rate, and hopefully those are coming through okay without any troubles. Hey, what's up, Unicorn Buck Cop? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. We are going to be looking at KeyCon board options today. So pretty loosey-goosey stream. As I've mentioned in the past, I know for sure one of the boards I want to bring. But I'm thinking of... I would have room to bring 3 if I wanted to. That's kind of the board limit. Like 3, I guess what would fit in the space of like 3 TKLs to full size, I think, is what the limit is. So one of the ones I want to bring is a TKL, but I could bring 2 other boards potentially, if they're on the smaller end, just for luggage space. Or I might just stick with one other one. But there's many choices. And so I need to think through what all I want to bring, and if so, if there's any tweaks that I want to do to them before showing them off, you know? So, let's see. Let me get my list here. My list of options. And hydrate. It is a little steamy hot today. Oh, also, I'm already prepared. Wearing my KeyCon shirt. I am in the mood. I am ready to go. I'm going to be going to the Field Museum the day before KeyCon. So the Friday before. And I'm going to wear this shirt and see if I come across any other KeyCon people there that day. But just so they can spot me if they want to say hey or whatever. One of these days, I'll go to a big keyboard convention. This is only my second one. And by all accounts, it's going to be bigger than the Novel Keys one. Just because the Novel Keys meetup is kept more intentionally small by Mike and Riley's own admission. That keeps it a little bit more of a curated feeling, I feel like there's, at least in past years, it's been limited also by the venue in kind of the ballroom at the Morgan Hotel, or Hotel Morgan, whatever. I know this year's a little bit different because they're doing something slightly different because it's like a big anniversary and some other stuff. And Morgantown is not the easiest place to get to. I mean, you can, like what I did, I flew into Pittsburgh and then I drove south to Morgantown. So, you know, a little harder to get to than Chicago. So this will be a different kettle of fish. My brother and I really want to go to the abroad one in Germany. Oh, the one that Novel Keys hosts with GMK? Or a different one. Yeah, that would be incredible. I would love to go visit GMK. I don't know that will ever happen because that is not cheap. Yeah, that one, yeah. It looked really cool just seeing the photos and videos of everything. Hey, Beast, what's up? Welcome, welcome. We are figuring out what to take to KeyCon. Oh, another thing I have to balance with deciding what to take is, what do I want to bring back? Because there's going to be vendors there. Clever, I think, is going to be there. Omnitype's going to be there. Bowl is going to be there. They're all going to have things for sale. I know Bowl is like bringing some obliques and stuff. Oh, Sneakbox is going to be there with some of those new little like color matched bay pads. So it's like, what do I want to spend space bringing, and what do I want to save space for to bring back? You know, if I suddenly decide I'm going to splurge on, you know, an in real life edition Bower Light, or I'm going to get an oblique or something. Because that'd be depending on what colors Bull has with him. And it may just be, I think somebody in my Discord pointed out that it would probably be just what he has in stock right now. I don't know that he's held back anything specifically for this that like isn't on his website. But yeah, so like whatever is there. Might I get an oblique? Might I do something else? I also offered Shark, since Shark is flying, I offered him luggage space, my luggage space, if there was something that I could then ship to him later if he really wanted or something. So I gotta balance some of that. What the wallet and the luggage will allow, I guess I should say. So try not to go too overboard. But man, I'm really excited to check out some prototypes. I think there's gonna be some clever and Omnitype prototypes, I think, of some upcoming stuff. So like Dynacap stuff and different things. I know the Juna, there's going to be Juna prototype there that Bull is bringing. Yeah. Maybe one of the Schema prototypes. That would be really cool. Anyway, except if we ever go to Germany, it'll probably be for Oktoberfest. Oh, for sure. That makes sense. Hello, Frederick. Happy Tuesday. Welcome. How are you doing, Frederick? Good to see you as always. So yeah, all that being said, how is the audio and video coming through? Because I did tweak a bunch of things earlier today, and I didn't test them first. So, sound is so low on my Hackintosh. Like, I'm coming through too low, or you just have your sound turned down? My levels are looking normal to me. You look and sound beautiful. Well, thank you. I did get all crisped up for KeyCon. I got a haircut this morning, so that I can look decent in 90 degree Chicago. The sound is low? Interesting. It's not low for me in OBS. So I might have to look into that later. Levels are coming through normally. My sound is low, but probably fine for everyone else. Yeah, well, I'll see. It's a you issue. We'll see if somebody else brings it up. When do I leave for Chicago? On Thursday. So sadly, I will not be into the factory on Thursday, Frederick. But we're heading out. We are taking the train. Me and the family are taking the train, taking Amtrak to Chicago. So we'll get in Thursday, hang out, get some good food, hang out on Friday. Might set some time aside if there's anybody coming in early for KeyCon to you know, grab a drink or coffee or something. I know I'm going to try to grab coffee with like Captain Sterling and stuff for sure. We were chatting about that. Wage price rendition. You can get fucked. Goodbye. And then we're going to go to the Field Museum. We're going to like hang out in a park and playgrounds and stuff for the kiddo. Then KeyCon Saturday and come back Sunday. So we'll have like an afternoon train, I want to say, back to Michigan. Let me see. I should know this offhand. Yeah, afternoon train. So we'll have the day, you know, we can put up our luggage at the hotel or whatever, and then just hang out in the city for a while and then catch the train back. So should be a grand old time. So yeah, we're actually staying more downtown just so that my family can do things when I'm away at the KeyCon and not have to travel super far. So I'll like take the blue line in to the venue on Saturday morning, and it's almost a straight shot, so should be pretty quick. And I love the CTA. I'm a big fan of the CTA. Well, public transit in general, but also the CTA. I love the L, and I love the CTA. Big fan. I've sometimes thought about, like, I really like where we live now, and it's also conveniently close to Chicago. It's only a couple hours away by train. But I've thought about, like, would I ever want to move, and where in the U.S., I guess I should say, and like going to a city or something. And Chicago's been up on the list because I just really like Chicago. I've tried to visit there a lot, and it's just I really like the Chicago energy. I like the food. I like the city. I'm going to Chicago next month for a weekend getaway. It has been a few years since I have been. Oh, fun! Anything in particular you're looking to do, or just chilling? I'm planning a trip to Chicago with my brothers this time next year. Only one of my brothers is actually into keyboards, but if it lines up, maybe I'll take them to KeyCon. Well, it won't be in Chicago next year, because KeyCon rotates based on community votes. But there is a Chicago keyboard group that organizes they do like a Windy City Key meetup every year. They're not doing it this year because they're helping to organize KeyCon, but they will do that next year. So I would say probably follow them on Instagram and get into their server if you want to know when that's going to happen. So next year will be the Windy City meetup. I assume they'll do it again, but it won't be KeyCon. Because like last year, KeyCon was in Washington, D.C., and this year it's in Chicago. Nana! What's up, Nana? How's Shark doing? How's the Lumen? I was, real Jabronis hours. Lumen is lumining. Man, after watching Shark's Part 1 stream on Sunday, Lumen got its hooks in me real bad. Listening to it, especially on that half plate, and that Seafoam, I'm going to get to try it, because Shark's bringing it to KeyCon. And I might make a more informed decision based off of that. Danger, yeah. Thankfully, because like I'm almost, I chunk my hobby money quarterly, typically. And so I have kind of a set amount that I allow myself to spend every quarter of the year. And US pricing is a bit cooked, allegedly. Yeah. So, you know, it's calendar quarters, so that's my hobby money is going to refresh in July. And so I'm glad that the Lumen is running into July. I'm trying to discipline myself into those chunks and not letting it kind of bleed into others. So I'll make it another decision in July. Yeah, very convenient, exactly. By the way, I fixed my sound. Very cool. I'm glad. So now I can sound more mellifluous. What specifically about the US pricing, Nana? Do you know any specifics? I haven't kept up with all the Lumen details in like the neighborhood server. Is it just like tariff stuff? Or shipping stuff? Or both? Might be state dependent. Interesting. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it looks and sounds real good. The word is 760 shipped to Canada after fees. Ooh, maybe I will just steal Shark's prototype from KeyCon. Of course, I won't do that. California. Okay, yeah, California does have some different import rules. Maybe I will suss out some more details on that for myself. I haven't been to any keyboard meetups in a while. Not a ton near me other than my college one, but I graduated, so don't go to those as many. Gotcha. That's cool that your college has one, though. There's always the Nana proxy angle. Very true. Very true. That's a very interesting angle. I'll keep that in mind. Shipped a Gahern 60 to Cali today for $35. Oh. Nice. You were just chewing. Oh, that was the Gahern prototype, right? Because you already got in on the group buy. And so your real one is coming, or your production one is coming. Yeah. Very cool, very cool. I helped set up the keyboard club at Oregon State before I graduated. I still help out a bit and use my big boy adult money to provide some giveaway items. Oh, that's very kind of you, Butt Cop. That's the way to do it. That's a great way to pay it forward and keep the hobby going for new folks. How's the prep going? It has not begun. We've only been yapping. I mean, it's basically like looking at boards and maybe getting some input from y'all on what you think. Because I was trying to think through like really interesting stuff that I might have to show. I think I want to try to limit it to 2 boards, or maybe 1 bigger board and then 2 tiny boards, like 60 or lower. Trying to think through, like, I don't even know what other people will bring. I feel like we'll see a lot of, we'll probably see a lot of Mantas, I'm guessing. We'll see a lot of Pangea Minis. So as interesting as that is, and it'll be fun to try other people's builds of those, like, I don't think I want to bring either of those. I think there'll probably be plenty of Mantas. Plus, I don't want to... I'm very protective of this finish. Like, it'd be fun to get some more, like, funky patina going. Like, you can see some of my patina on here. But, like, the clear... I don't want anything to happen to the clear-coated raw top. And then with the Pangea Mini, I just think we'll probably see a lot of Pangea Minis. So I don't know that I need to bring one. We'll probably see a bunch of the citrus ones with orange on beige, which I also have. So to fund that oblique, yeah, it goes Bowls bringing obliques. I can save on shipping. Perhaps bring a keyboard that you want to sell. That would be cool. I don't think they are doing anything like that. I believe selling is not allowed at this event. Not that you could, if you were like organizing it like off venue or whatever, like in the parking lot or something, you could sell a keyboard or whatever, or like bring one to someone that you had already sold. But that's not something I'm interested in on this trip. I know some people are also giving away some free stuff potentially, like if they want to take up a little table space, like instead of a keyboard, they could have like a little thing to be like, hey, take these PCBs I don't want or something like that. There is some of that allowed, but I don't believe that sales are. Actually, I meant to, let's look at the website, KeyCon. I'm trying to think. Oh, there are all the panels, which are also going to be fun. Now, Jay's, I don't know if this is going to happen. Last I heard, Jay couldn't get into the country. I don't know if that's still the case. So I'll probably double check on that. That was information from a while ago. But there's going to be a vintage keyboard, writer decks, the global keyboard market. We'll see if that one happens. Gondo's going to be there with how your keyboard works, strange mechanisms, and candy-coated resin, which will be interesting too. A bunch of panels throughout the day. I thought there was an Oh yeah, here's some of the sponsors that'll be there. ArtKey, Bowl, GMK, Omnitype, Sneakbox, Switch Oddities, Clever, Artisan, Keystone Gems, Mastodon Caps, Midwest, Doohickeys, Novel Keys, blah, blah, blah. You can read those. I thought they had an FAQ on here. Oh, here we go. I'm going to see if this says anything about how many keyboards. Oh, yeah, maximum of 3, which I thought. Drinks and food, blah, blah, blah. Only vendors are permitted to sell merch on site. That's what I remembered. So there you go. There you go. There's 2 Geronis boards I'd like to see at a meetup. Your Mecha Alice and your Simon Says thingy. Oh, really? The little soldered Simon thing? I mean, I guess that is technically a keyboard, I guess. That'd actually be kind of funny. Like this little guy? That'd be fun to get people to play a little Simon Says game. And it's so tiny too. Like I could just probably have 3 boards and this if I really wanted to. It'd be really fun to like play this, to have like little giveaway things. I don't know if they would allow this, but to be like free little stickers or something. Be like, hey, like get to this many rounds on Simon and you get a free thing or something. And then if they lose, give it to them anyway. I don't have anything like that prepared. I haven't made stickers in a hot minute, but that would be fun to think about in the future. I should have consulted you earlier, Nana. I like that idea a lot, actually. I might just do that and bring that with me because it's so small. So let's see. I actually hadn't thought about taking the Kaiju Alice on this. That is an interesting thought. I may revisit that. Let me move this and we can talk about what I had planned. So for sure, board number 1 that I absolutely want to bring is the Dynacap Classic TKL. Just because it was so much fun to build, and it was kind of I feel like it was a collaborative community thing in a way, just because, you know, it's combining multiple things together, like multiple vendors together. Panels just came out, and so, you know, it's pretty fresh. I know there'll probably be a bunch of DCS panels at the meetup as well, but like the walkthrough from Hector, a plate from Tom, parts from Dynacap and Omnitype, caps and board from Novel Keys, you know, it's kind of fun. And I just really like it. And I want to show it off. I think it was a lot of prep and work, and I really like how it came out. And I think it's really, really stunning. And it's lighter than any other TKL that I own, really. Approved, it's a banger, thank you. Plus, I already promised Shark that I would bring it. He was almost threatening me to bring it, so... yeah, that is a winner, I think. Man, I'm excited to do another Dynacap build. It'd be really cool. I'm curious if they're going to have... if Clever is going to have any of his special blue Dynacap parts. If he does, I might have to buy some. Or if they have any dry lubed housing stock that they've held back from the store, I might just go ahead and buy some so that I can get started on the thermal conversion. Anyway, so board number 1, for sure. I think that is the way to go. How's the frame rate, by the way? I asked this earlier, but there weren't as many people on. So I want to check how if there's any weird frame rate throttling or quality dropping or anything, because I made some adjustments. So there's board number 1. I'll lay them out like Marcia did on her stream. I will need to find a case to put this in. I think I have a Mode 80 case that'll work for my first Mode 80, my one-off black and Font Awesome blue Mode 80. But speaking of Font Awesome boards, one of the boards I took to Novel Keys, when you were waving your hands, it felt like a lower frame rate. Interesting. The 80 should fit since they both have chunky foreheads. That was my thought exactly, Unicorn. Because I was like thinking about other boards I could put this in, and I have like some that are like FRL TKL cases, and that's not going to work because, you know, FRO and forehead. So another option, speaking of Font Awesome boards, was this one, which is one that I did take to Novel Keys last year, and I think it is still a viable option for this one, just because it is fairly unique in that not a ton of these exist. That is my Font Awesome Sonnet. So I mentioned this in my Discord the other day because I was actually Unicorn and I and some others were talking about mode boards and different ones we've owned in the past, and this is one that we've seen on stream a couple of times now. because I have built it on stream and then rebuilt it. But this is a board that I helped design for my company with Mode. So I came in at the tail end of the keycap project, mainly in the color matching stage. This is DSS font awesome. And then I did help with the keyboard, namely working on the back engraving and the weight engraving on the inside. Were both things that I worked on in terms of the layout and like the choosing of icons, and also helping a little bit with the color matching for the weight, the bottom, and the accent. Thank you. So yeah, there aren't a ton of these. These were not only just for company folks, but they also let me set this over here. They were available through a Kickstarter that we ran a couple years ago as a reward. And, you know, understandably, they weren't like cheap. So not a huge number of people went for it. And so we do have some extra stock and stuff lying around. But, you know, you don't see this kind of sonnet much. I might have unknowingly gotten angry at your work. Tell me more, Nana. But this is, I was trying to design a DCS set on keyboard layout editor. Oh, and they didn't have DCS icons. They did have font awesome. That's funny. I wish I would have snagged one, but I was a broke college kid. One sonnet was enough at the time. I was naive to assume anything could be ever enough. Yeah. What the fuck? Give me DCS icons. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these are icons that I also help design, because that is my job. I am an icon. I mean, part of my job is an icon designer. So yeah. So this one I might want to rebuild. Although I do really like it a lot. This one I rebuilt not that long ago, honestly, because I did a rebuild stream with a coworker during our most recent Kickstarter that was just like a month ago. Looking for a purse caps lock. Oh, I get you. Yeah. Why do that when you can have more cowbell? Yeah. Yeah, this is a winner. So I think this is a contender just because even though I've taken it to meetups before, there aren't a ton, and the whole thing is so cohesive. I'm trying to remember I've probably got clouds in here. Yeah. Just because the blue on HMX Clouds is pretty close to Font Awesome Blue, one of the closest I've found. It's a little less saturated, but these are like the heavier clouds, the original clouds, not Cloud V2s. And I like how marbly it sounds, like, you know. Although I feel like I might want to rebuild and put a little bit of dampening in there just because it is, or increase the hardness of the flex bricks because like it is bottoming out a tiny bit because it has the PC plate in there. Although I could do, oh, that wouldn't be compatible probably. Anyway, something to think about. So that's a contender, and it's lovely and is not seen a ton. And I don't see DCS a ton either. Like, it's a very underrated profile. I like it a lot. If you're not familiar with it, it's essentially a cross between, did I say DCS? I meant DSS. Between DCS and SA, because it is spherical. It's a spherical profile like SA is, but it has kind of the cap height and the texture much closer to DCS. And you can do like, you know, double shot. It's double shot ABS. It is, the walls are thicker. They're closer to the thickness of like SA walls. So they're not as thin as DCS. And the way I have to remember that is the C is for cylindrical and the S in the first S in DSS is for spherical. So there you go. I had a hard time remembering these profiles when I first started learning about them. And it's easy to misspeak. But yeah, it's fun. It's also fun to write on the board card to like, hey, pick me up and look at my butt. Because I want people to like look at the engraving on the bottom and stuff. Anyway, it's fun. It holds a special place for me since I got to help with it. And it's, in the grand scheme of things, fairly rare. It's probably one of the rarest boards that I have, just in terms of the number that are actually out in the world. I don't know how many we ended up selling. But there you go. So that's one. That's an option. So yes, for sure, Classic TKL. Maybe the Sonnet. Some other options. Another board that I don't see too many of this maker at meetups, and I say that having gone to one, but I didn't see too many of them there. I actually have my stuff from the keyboard meetup in here still. These are my info cards from a couple of boards. So yeah, I brought this one, the Duo 60, and I also had my Keycult 0, and then the Sonnet at the Novel Keys meetup. Got some stickies. Ooh, I got that abstract sticker from the meetup. I forgot those were in here. But this was another really nice one that I brought because I really loved how it turned out. And it's also fairly I mean, it is pretty weighty for a 60, but it's still fairly portable. And this is the Lazy Designers Duo 60. So I've got some HMX light tactiles in here. And yeah, let me scoot some things out of the way. It's just such a treat I just love, I mean, the curves are so nice. I mean, the concentric curves, the inner frame, it works so well with 2048, which I've got the light alphas and then some dark mods and colored accents with the Mac kit, of course. Spacebar is still a little resonant, but you know, I was just thinking how nice, how rad this would be with Topra. But I don't know if that would be possible. It does have like an integrated USB that's centered. But, oh yeah, I love the bottom weight too. Look at that, like the PVD weight in there. Duo. Very nice. I haven't seen a ton of Lazy Designer boards at the Novel Keys meetup. So that's a definite option. But I also did bring this before, so I don't know that I'd necessarily want to. But that's an option. It's in the running. Let's see. Actually, let me set these down over here, just so I don't clutter up the desk too much. That might be beneficial. I'm quickly going to run out of space if I continue on. Yeah, it's wild that the Duo 60 is even lighter, or I mean heavier than the Mode Sonnet, which is a 75% board. Speaking of, let's keep going talking about Lazy Designer stuff, since I haven't seen a ton. I can dig it out. And this would be one we've built a couple times on stream, and is fun just for the novelty of it. And that is the Alu Bolt, which I am looking to sell at some point. but not super soon. And it is such a fun little board and can do some funky stuff since it is like a split or kind of an Alice-esque 40%. Could be fun to show off and wouldn't take up much space, very easy to transport. So that is an option for something as well. I would have to think though of what to put on it. The original kind of setup for this board was MT3 operator because it had the purple accents on it and it also worked well with 40s. Like it had some specifically 40s oriented kits to assist with like the num row or like the top row that would have the numbers and sub legends and stuff on them, so I could easily, layer things and get it to work. So that may be an option. I don't know that I want to necessarily rebuild it to suit that, but anyway, an option. Kind of a funky little board. Let's see. Another option. And I probably want to rebuild this one. It is a lovely purple. Just because it's a fun layout. It's kind of PAL-esque. But this came out in a couple different rounds, whereas the PAL has not yet. But the Typface Univers is a very fun layout with the exploded arrows, and it's essentially a 60% with arrows and an F row. And also a fun engraving. But very clacky build on this one. Is that not a 75? A 75 would also have the column here. So you would normally have like yes arrows here. You could also potentially have an extra key here, and you would have your column here. And that would be a 75. Like the Sonnet. The Sonnet is a 75. And so you can see, if I can line these up. So you do have, this, but this column is not here. And then they've kind of squished all the functions into a narrower space. So it does definitely have a lot of stuff in common with a 75. But it's not quite fully there. Apologies for the 6.25U spacebars on these. I know that's not everybody's cup of tea. And it varies for me sometimes. But anyway, it's a fun layout. I have taken this one to other events before, not... Oh, a little smudgy here. Not keyboard events, but I took this one to config with me in 2024, I think, because we had the Fun Awesome keycaps. Before we had the boards, we had the keycaps done, and so I had them on this and we're showing them off to people at config, which was very fun. But something to consider. I'm not as sold on the uniqueness of this one, especially because there's been like a couple rounds of universes now. So, yeah. Don't know that I would need to take that one with me. But if we're keeping rolling, I was thinking, what if I only take 2 boards? Then I could bring a big boy. If I only did the classic TKL and something else, potentially. So if we were keeping it in the Typface family, a potential option could be the Monospace, which is a big boy, and it would take up a decent amount of luggage space. But it is so lovely. Ooh. Not too heavy, all things considered. But look at that. Southpaw numpad. FRL TKL with a numpad. on the left. And it's quite deep with the PBS keycaps on it, the longest boy. Kind of, I mean, it's a little bit like, I don't remember how long like the ETAR 87 is. But that's another really long boy that's been fairly recent. Oh, it's the same. I mean, it's the same layout. It's just numpad is where it would normally be. But it's essentially the same, an FRL TKL with a numpad. But anyway, it is very fun. And I feel like these keycaps suit it very well. So did Terminal. Terminal worked really well on this as well because there also came with a copper accent you could have here. So that worked out really well with the coppery legends as well as the artisan. I will offer the keyboard you built for me as tribute. No, Frederick, I don't want to take that away from you. And I can't, I mean, part of it is most everyone that I've encountered at meetups, ours included, are the ones that we've run here in town. And like seeing videos and photos of other things, like people generally try to be very respectful and well behaved at these things. But I can't 100% guarantee your keyboard safety. You know, and I wouldn't want to risk that of anything potentially happening. So that's very kind of you, but I don't know. This key set is Aperture Priority, by the way, by O-Type. Or not O-Type, sorry, that's a ratio. Akuko Labs. Same one who designed Gestalt and Motif and that sort of thing. This is a die-subbed PBS set that he designed. And I thought it worked out really well in this context. So that's an option. And I don't feel like I've seen monospaces at meetups before. Like in photos I've seen of other ones, I haven't seen this one crop up a ton. Hello, Fetty, how you doing? Well, I hope. So, an option. Maybe we'll stack it over here. What board is this? This is the Typface Monospace. We can actually see if it focuses. Maybe there. There you go. Southpaw FRL by Typface. I believe they are going to be working on a round 2 of this at some point based on their server. But I know they've got some other projects in the pipe that are taking priority. Yes, this is their second board after the Univers. And I knew after getting the Univers that I wanted to get more Typface boards. So they are working on I mean, they have had some other ones in between, like the Kafka was one. That I know a lot of people liked, especially as an HE board. It sounded pretty good for an HE board. But they've got some other stuff coming down the pipe. And they wrote to me the other day on Instagram that they were hoping to get me a prototype of one of them. Unprompted, it was cool. I didn't even ask. To take a look at one of their forthcoming boards. Oh yeah, the frame rate did kind of freak out there for a second, didn't it? That's weird. Reggie, what's up? How you doing, man? We are getting ready for KeyCon. Deciding what to take out of my board allowance. Just got back from Yellowstone. Oh, that's awesome. Absolutely, Bush. That's really cool. I really want to go to some of those more Western national parks at some point. That's awesome. How long were you there for? Get rid of some of these windows here. Too many windows open right now. Yeah. What have I got in here anyway? Speaking of Reggie, let's take a look. Take your thermal. That board is too nice. Oh, that's an option. Oh yeah, I have my my film, like photography film themed switches in here. My HMXs, which makes sense. It's a very different yellow, but they're film themed, so I figured it went with the whole camera aesthetic. And it's on Alu plate. I also have a PC plate for this. And initially when I built it, I did not like the Alu plate in the configurations that I put together. And so I actually ran hot swap plateless for a time. It worked out pretty well before I got a custom PC plate done. Well, we can take a look at the thermal if you want. Sad I can't make it to the con. That is sad. I am sad as well, but I know you're going to have a blast at the Novel Keys meetup. So, eat some pickled eggs for me. But yeah, let me grab the... If you're interested in the thermal, let me grab it. Here it is. So in here right now, we are rocking Retro J's, I think. Is that what's in here? Yo! Yes, we got a thermal. La 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 la. Let me look at my spreadsheet. Let's see. Yes, Retro J's, I thought so. I will need build tips for this very soon. Oh, I know you're on the lookout for one, right? Or did you finally got one? I gotta unpack that. I'd pop in and say hello. Well, thank you so much, Reggie. Enjoy being home. I hope you can get some good rest from your trip. And would love to see if you took photos or anything while you're out there. That would be rad to see. Got one, arrives this week. Very cool. Is it like the full 60, or is it like the Thermal Plus, or is it the HHKB? Yes, this is the Wilba Thermal. I actually got this from Rama. One of the last things they sent out, I think. The Salvin V2 of the thermal. Gotcha. Winkey Machine Black. Oh, that's hot. I have loved seeing the black one with like a red plate. One of my coworkers has that, and it is beautiful with the red poking through. This one has, maybe you can see a little bit of the light spilling through on the sides. This is a PEI plate on this one. Basically the same, but short feet and a brass inner weight. Yeah, I wish this had short feet and a brass inner weight. Yeah, because it's got the big strips, so it makes it a little thuddier. Granted, I could always take those out and use bump-ons or something. And the brass, I imagine, the brass will help with the acoustics a lot, because acoustically, I would say the V1 thermal is acoustically challenging in some ways. I've done what I can for this one, but there's still definitely like some hollowness in there, which may not come across on stream super well. But in person, you can hear it kind of going boom when you type on it. And it sounds just like that too, kind of like a drunk caveman. Well, that's good. I'm glad it sounds nice on stream, and it's definitely got character, which I do like too. Like it's not like flat and unopinionated. I think it works really well with the tactiles and with DCS on it. But this is a future EC conversion project, which I am looking forward to. I've already got the plate file for it. I'm just waiting. I want to go with Tom again, so I'm waiting for brass to come back in stock at Hype. And then I want to, because that's going to look really good too with the brass peeking through. Woo. So I want to do that. I want to do an EC conversion on this, and I think I will enjoy the sound even more. But yeah, it took me a bit to enjoy this board. I definitely did not enjoy the metal plate that came with it. PEI helped it a lot, in my opinion. Someone in MBH made a custom plate with better spacebar cutouts. Makes the space that... Oh! Now that's interesting. Yeah, this spacebar is not bad. But I have had spacebar trouble with it in the past, so that would have been beneficial. Well, yeah, if you don't mind, I would love to take a look at it. It might be interesting to get a couple... I mean, it wouldn't work for EC, but yeah, to have another future-proof plate file cut for this. Because I know there's already like stiff plate and soft plate versions of the plate file. So it'd be nice to have another third option. I really appreciate that. Thanks, Nana. Yeah, I mean, the thermal's an option too. I do like it. Even if I have never fallen like 100% in love with the sound, it's just so damn beautiful. And even if I'm not always feeling HHKB, like, and granted, I wish DCS Intro Beige came with a control for this spot. It does not, sadly. But yeah, the whole package is really nice. And yeah. Anyway, I'm digressing. Something to keep in mind. Okay, well, I guess that's a contender too. Maybe we'll shift a couple things here. I don't know, maybe we'll do some polls or something, or maybe I'll just go with my gut as to what we end up finally deciding for sure. Another option, of course, built by Extra Prius himself, is the 7. Which is quite stunning to look at. Still not 100% in love with it. I mean, Evan did a fantastic job. The green is nice. It's, I believe this color is referred to as peacock. So it is like a very darker, more green teal. But it does look quite nice. I mean, and the anodizing on it is fairly good. This is a board that I will probably not keep for super long, I would say. And I've mentioned some of this on stream before about this board, just in terms of the material quality and the build process and the difficulty of that. Not something I would necessarily want to rebuild myself ever, just because of how difficult it is with the dual O-ring. But something, actually, hold on. I'm going to change one thing about my top-down camera that I'm noticing, and I will be right back. Hold on. Okay. I don't know if that fixed anything. I felt like I was getting a little bit of stuttering coming through on OBS, but I don't know if that's true. I might need to recheck my HDMI output, but anyway, we'll leave it as is for now. Yeah, some of the stuff about this, some of the quality on the Alu's not the best, like especially on the weight. And just the build quality of some of the internals, not my favorite. So the longevity of this being in my collection, I'm not 100% on, because I don't think I would want to rebuild it. And so that kind of limits the interest for me a little bit. So I will say I do enjoy the sound for the most part. And I think I did a really good job choosing components, and Evan did a really good job building it. And so that's where its value comes for me. But it might be nice to show this off before I try to sell it in the next few months, essentially. Just because like I'm not pulling it out as often to use it as some other stuff. So it is stunning to look at. It is enjoyable to type on. It's got HMX Arowana golds in here, and I really like the color combination of the yellows, kind of the teals, and the reds with like these accents in the plate. But so I've been trying to think like, are there enough factors about this that would make me want to keep it? But if I'm going to go in on the lumen, which is already seafoamy, greeny. I'm already getting a mint Juna, which is tealy, greeny, minty. It's like I don't want to overload on tealy, greeny boards. You know what I'm saying? So that might be interesting to have like one last hurrah, show this off as an option. So bear that in mind. Let's see. What are we thinking so far? That's a lot. I also have other boards, but I want to keep them on the lower end because I don't want to mess with bringing any other TKLs. So I don't want to bring an F1. I don't want to bring another Mode 80. Like I have my Fawn Awesome Mode 80. I'm not going to bring that. I've also got, and I didn't want to bring the Pangea Mini. I think we'll see plenty of those. I could bring the Corsa. That might be interesting. What's that Southpaw board? This is the Typface Monospace. This one right here. So yeah, it is an FRL TKL with a Southpaw numpad, which I don't see this layout. I think the electric capacitive and the Typface Monospace board. Oh yeah, I mean this is for sure. This is a number one coming on the trip, for sure. So you are correct, Frederick, that the classic TKL is going to come. Yeah, barring anything else, this is one that I know for sure I want to bring on the trip. So, for sure. So yeah, so I am kind of leaning towards this one myself. Now the question is, would I want to rebuild it in any way before? Because I don't feel like I see this layout a ton. And I also don't feel like I see PBS caps a ton either. They're not as popular as Cherry by far, or DCS, and DCS is definitely having a resurgent moment these days. Yeah, I don't see a ton of, outside of like ortho projects, I don't see a ton of uniform profiles like this. And so I'm thinking it might be fun to show those off together. Even though Terminal also looked really good on this. But I think Shark pointed this out on his stream on, was it on Sunday? One of his streams recently when he was talking about what he wanted to bring to KeyCon. Because I think he put GMK Abstract onto the Lumen. It looks great, as you might expect. But he was like, I don't want to bring Abstract to the meetup and have everybody's grubby fingers typing on it because of the UV printing and what could potentially happen there. So I think I feel a little bit similarly in that I am not 100% sure I want to bring a completely UV printed set. Whoops. I hit some kind of key command that switched scenes. Yeah, even though I did take, I had GMK Expo at the Novel Keys meetup, and it turned out fine. I had that on my Key Cult Zero. But still, you know, like as these sets are getting older and I want to continue to keep them in good shape, I don't know that I want hundreds, or I don't even know how many attendees are going to be there, but like potentially hundreds of people getting their grubby mitts onto my UV printed sets. I will gladly share a double shot with anyone, but or like PBT, dye sublimated stuff. So yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking all in all, I think we can safely dismiss the Alu Bolt. Just because I'm not sure what keycaps I would want to put on it. I don't think I want to do MT3 operator just because MT3 is not a representation of me really, because I don't like MT3 so much. So I might put this one away. I think we can do that. I think we can safely do that. And say, no thank you, Alu Bolt. Now you get to watch me put it in its box. And I also don't use it a ton anyway, so it is slated for being sold at some point in the next few months. And I think I can also safely say that the Duo 60, as much as I do love it, I did get to hang out at the Novel Keys meetup last year. And so it has been abroad, it has seen the world. And while it is very stylish, it's not making a huge statement. It's not super splashy, all things considered. So I think I will say that the Duo 60 can also go back in its home for now. Although I'm excited, I might try this again when Power 2048 comes out, because I did get in on that group buy, and so that'll give us a nice mid gray that we can use. So that might be fun to experiment with the dark mods and the gray alphas or something. Maybe we could do a breaker styled mix of all three like we did for Kaiju. Let's see. Well, speaking, let me look at my boards real quick and see if anything else jumps out. So I'll read them out loud. If there's anything you're interested in seeing, shout it out. So I'm not bringing 80s. They're I don't want two TKLs. The Sonnet is an option. There is the Protozoa Foundation is a potential option. I have not seen any of those at a meetup. That's an FRL TKO, if you don't know. The capsule's not built. I'm not going to build that. The Piggy, I know for a fact other people will have Piggies. I think Marcy is bringing her Piggy with the Grand Budapest set on it. So, I mean, the Piggy is great, but it is also super freaking heavy, and I don't know that I want to tote that around. Thermal, I got the June. The June is cute, but I also just have DCS Vomit on it right now. The Strata, I'm going to get rid of. Salvation, I'm going to get rid of. Cycle 7, I'm going to get rid of. The Envoy, I'm going to get rid of. The other Envoy, I'm going to get rid of. So there's the Corsa. There's my red Neo 65, which also has panels on it, which might be kind of funny to go full panels. Those aren't there. The Event Horizon. I'm going to get rid of the Navi. I did seriously consider... Actually, I'll move a couple things so I can actually get it. I did seriously consider what it would take to bring the Keyboards class 0413 to this event. And if I actually had the wherewithal to attempt it. Because this keyboard could kill a man. Easily the heaviest thing in my collection. Because, barring some space at the top for the daughter board and the solenoid and buzzer, this sucker is solid metal. That's it, pack it, ship it, done. It's so heavy, Benny. It is so heavy. This would be like my entire luggage. Like, it is so gorgeous, though. Like, it even... Oh, my goodness. And it has the engraved back plate. It is a fantastic board. But I am not going to carry this on the train for 40 minutes to get to the venue. Can you imagine? I haven't even used it in a while. It still sounds so good. This has, excuse me. This has HMX cilantros in it. It will need its own seat. I know, right? And it's so nice with abstract. I've also got multiple inner frames for this. Like I have the yellow one. I also have a yellow one that includes arrow keys. And then I have a brown one. And I have kind of a golden one. And so the initial, like when I first got this, the plan was to use like the golden one and Expo. And it does work out really well. And I also had Clodney on it for a while with the brown. That's the sad thing about this. I like this board a ton, but I don't ever want to take it anywhere. Shark! Welcome, Shark watchers and fans. Hello! How was the Lumen? How was the part 2 of the Lumen? Nikyu, what's up? For those who don't know, Nikyu's designed a very handsome TKL that is in group buy right now. You should all go look at it, the Lumen. Shark has been on a couple streams building it in different configurations. Guess what build Shark ended up with? Was it the TTC switches that he modded? Did he go back to the half plate? What's up, Chris? Yeah, it's a classic. Oh, MX Black's on a full Alu with Gorp. I'm shocked. Black's on Alu. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed that's a winning combo? And Gorp does look fantastic with it. Speaking of Gorp, how was that Tokyo meetup, Chris? Because you took your HHKB with Gorp on it, right? You did go back to Gorp, right? I thought you did in the stream. For sure nobody else has built that. Yeah, right? No, never. It's good, got so many compliments. That's awesome. It looked really good. I thought they both looked good. I thought both of your different builds looked good for what it's worth. There was a cool MT new build, but conforming one. Are you talking about the Lumen Nano? Because I did see when he put Modern Dolce on it. That did look very nice, if that's what you're talking about. MT new on Lumen is also fantastic. That's good, because I mean, I love MT new. I love the look of MT new. I love the feel of MT new. I don't always love the sound of MT new on MX, which is another reason why I am justifying to myself to get more into EC builds, because I know because I've tested them that MT new sounds really good on, you know, EC on Topra or Dynacap or whatever. Did I get a haircut? I sure did. I got all nice and crisped up for Chicago. I had to look as good as Shark, and I got close. Nice, you're getting your done on Thursday? Very nice. Yeah, it's going to be hot in Chicago. You're going to want a haircut. I'm way more handsome. Well, maybe I need to wear my yellow translucent acrylic Shark glasses, and then no one will be able to tell us apart. Stop, both of you are handsome? No, Chris, you are handsome. We're all handsome. Anyway, now that we've all exchanged handsome pleasantries. Hello, Raiders! Welcome. We are talking about what to take to KeyCon. No, you! So far, we've dismissed some options, I think. For sure, the EC converted Classic DKL is coming. This is a shoo-in. And so I think I want to bring one more board. Fine, I'm handsome. Yes. I 100%. This is for sure. And so I'm thinking at most I want to do 2 boards. And so this is one. And for the other one, I've been on the fence. There have been some votes for something like the Typface Monospace, because we don't see too many FRL, TKL, Southpaw, numpad layouts. And I also don't see too many PBS keycap sets. At least when the one meetup I've been to, and the photos and videos of all the other meetups that I've seen. I have not come across PBS as much outside of like ortho enthusiasts and stuff. Since it is a uniform profile, it's a little easier for them to get into. But before the raid happened, I was just talking about this beast that is not making the trip because it weighs as much as my car. And it's like, it is, I need to, my scale won't handle this. My scale will error out. So I need to actually weigh this sometime, because this sucker is massive. And I'm not going to be taking this in a backpack on the blue line to the Irish American Heritage Center in Chicago, Illinois. So it does sound so good though. Man, I don't even, we gotta be a PC plate in here, right? Yeah. And the HMX Cilantro's in here. But you promised everyone that you were going to bring it and it would get its own seat on the train. I don't know how Amtrak would feel about that, because I did not pay for it. Unless it would count as like a lap infant. And then I could just put it, just carry it. I don't know. It weighs as much, it weighs more than an infant for sure. And this might, I mean, this weighs, I'm trying to think. Okay, let me hold it like I hold my child. It might weigh as much as my child does, my 6-year-old child. When I'm holding it like against my shoulder like this. That's wild. Anyway, I do love this board. But I just wanted to show it off. It's not going to come. I've had a hard enough time getting this to the couple small events I run at my co-working space. Just because it doesn't have a carrying case, and so I have to like wrap it in a bunch of shit to make sure it doesn't get damaged. Like towels and stuff. Anyway. So for new folks, other inputs. So we want the classic TKL for sure. Others have voiced interest in bringing the thermal, which would definitely be easy enough to do. It's just a 60% HHKB. And it is, I mean, the thermal is always stunning. Bring an EC board for Shark. Oh, I am 100%. We're bringing the Dynacap Classic TKL for Shark to try. And also I just want to show off my work on it. And I think it came out super great, and I'm very proud of it. But there will also be tons of EC stuff there. So Shark can get a wide range of exposure because there will be, I mean, Clever and Dynacap are going to be there for goodness sake. They'll have a bunch of stuff that they're working on, probably samples of some new stuff. I don't know I'm trying to think. I showed off in my Discord. Hope somebody has Metapelts. Oh, I'm sure they will. Yeah, I would like to try it as well. Based on your recommendation before, NICU. Let me throw this in there. In my Discord, I was showing off. There's a new Clever, the Bevel 60, I think it's called, is a new board that Clever's working on that has an integrated plate and is going to be Dynacap and different stuff. That looks really cool. It's an injection molded board with an integrated plate. And I'm hoping there'll be something there, maybe a prototype there, but he was showing off factory prototype photos. So my guess is they may not have gotten one from the factory yet, but I'm hoping to see a sneak peek at some of those upcoming projects. Getting your Seal 80, oh lovely, with Metapulse kit next week. So excited. Very, very cool. Yeah, I would love to give Metapulse a shot as well. Especially since, as you mentioned, like the build experience is very different because you don't have all the stuff falling out potentially. Yeah, I think more EC options is better for everybody. So anyway, so there'll be a lot of EC stuff there. I'm sure people will have, Real Force and Topra stuff as well as people bringing like their Senecas and Norbauer stuff. There was a lot of Norbauer at the Novel Keys meetup, so I suspect there will be some here as well that Shark and myself and everyone else can try. So we can get a nice wide range of experience. So all that good stuff. Got some Metapulse domes to try. Very nice. Awesome. What are you going to put them in, Chris? Do you know yet? A keyboard. Shocking. Who would have thought? Oh, they're already in your HHKB. Gotcha. Are they like on the softer, medium, hard end? I think I want to try. I like the medium domes, but for my next one, I want to try going harder. I think I would like that. I prefer Astrodomes. Oh, I have seen Astrodomes out there. Yeah. I wish... Yeah, it's interesting with like working in EC stuff because it's much, you can get in and modify stuff more easily than say a soldered MX build, but it's also much more time consuming than hot swap because you have, a million components and a million screws to mess with. So it's an interesting middle ground, I feel like, between those modification experiences. Let's see. That's mainly because Astrodomes, BKE Redux, okay. Oh, different goals, sure. That makes sense. I gotta make my window taller so I can actually see the full chat here. There we go. It wasn't scrolling for a second. Got stuck. Anyway, let me put this back before my desk breaks with all these keyboards. Ah. I also thought it'd be funny to maybe just bring something silly like my Skelett, which is like whatever starter kit, Well, thanks for the following, Bob. I appreciate that. just because it's so janky and has like stupid feet that I put on the back. But that's kind of dumb. Yeah, it's Baja Blast. Was it Nana earlier did suggest bringing this as one of my boards, which I think is a great idea and I do want to do, which is the little Simon Says game that I soldered together. Since it is technically a board, you know, it has like the little buttons on it and everything. I think that would be fun to have people just, you know, take a break and play a game of Simon at the table or something. Might be kind of funny. So I might bring it and then decide on the day if I actually want to put it out, since it might be difficult to fill out the info card on this. Not having actually any switches or... I mean, it has like little domes in here. But, you know, there's not a plate. There's not switches. There's not keycaps. There's nothing like that. You know what that reminds me of? There's a board which has these buttons from a Korean designer. Oh, no, like buttons like this? That's kind of neat. Hello, Plastic Bits. How you doing? Little squishy domey buddies. Oh, I missed something from Fetty. What did Fetty say? I bought a random $25 vintage the other day, opened it up, found a foam and foil EC build. Never knew that was even a thing. It was EC. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I see what you're saying about it. Made by a certain man. Baja Blast. Yeah, I know. I know. Speaking of that, I also thought about bringing this as a final hurrah, because I don't think it's going to be in my collection for much longer. The 7, but I don't think so. I don't think so, after all. The bit, anyway. Oh, that's the board with those kind of buttons. Gotcha. I could bring this little guy. I do enjoy my little treasure type 9. And it even has its own little carrying case. Oh, this one? Let me take a look. Oh, interesting. Hold on, let me put this in the correct window here so we can all look at it. Oh, I guess it would help if I plugged my micropad back in, huh? That's kind of cool. With all the, you know, the LEDs and everything. Little screen on it. Huh. Steel housing, high performance, high-end, custom mechanical keyboard with 101 keys. Yeah, that's kind of a neat look, honestly. It feels a little bit like an old control room of some kind or something you might find on a submarine. White, green, yellow, blue. Oh, those are the OLED color options. It's like, So it's only the one kind of finish on it? Oh, because it's like a bent steel. Gotcha. He also has some extra small pads he's working on. That would be more my speed, probably. Would be like a cool light up pad or something. Yeah, that's cool. That is fun to look at. And I like kind of that bent steel look with the different color bottom frame portion. Wonder how it sounds, though. It might sound like ass, but it looks cool. Interesting. Looks like a space station. Yeah. Like literally a radar screen. He's about to drop an airstrike. Oh, a sound test at the bottom. Okay, I'll check that out later. I won't do that on stream, but I'll take a look at it. Yeah, that does look cool. You know what would be cool would be to have that kind of light up LED array, like having that kind of thing in a battleship format. Like if the top, like Afro portion could have that sort of thing on it with the lights and everything. That would be rad. Let's get Bowl on the horn. Give us an option on the battleship. Make it happen, man. Oh, there's the pad. Okay, here, let me pull this up. Ah, look how nice it matches. That's cute, and it's even got the little screen on it too. Like a little bubble. That is cute. Exploded numpad is goated. Yeah, it's cute. That's cute, I approve. And you can program those buttons like an Afro. Yeah, I figured. I figured. You know, it'd be really cool would be to set that whole up thing like a MIDI sequencer or like a synthesizer sequencer. To be able to have that integrated with the keyboard for like music work. Now I'm thinking. I wanted to make a keyboard like that, but a different layout. It would need to be huge, yeah. Maybe you've already talked about this in other streams and stuff, Nikki, but do you have any keyboard plans after the Lumen? I know you're also working on like school and probably a million other things. Do you have any like next projects in mind after the Lumen, or are you just going to see how the Lumen goes and then decide after that? The Mao HHKB. Interesting. Is there anything in the NBH Discord about that yet, or is that still under wraps? Oh, it was a one-off. Gotcha. People like Mango keep asking me to make it a group buy. Mango can be persistent. Is there a link to the Lumen keyboard? Yeah, actually, would you mind throwing that into the chat, Nikki? It should be fine. It should allow you to do links. If you want to share that, feel free. Somebody else designed it. Oh, I thought you had some. I thought you like were handling. You didn't like worked on the engraving and stuff. Is that not true? I knew you didn't like do the whole like the thing. Whole cloth. Yeah, I gave input. Yeah, I thought so. You've definitely been the face of the project, so that's what I associate with it. There's a link for you, Frederick, if you're interested in the Lumen. And if you want, like a lot of folks have been building it in various streams. Shark, who was here and rated, did one on Sunday and did another one today as well, like building it in different configurations and stuff. So, Mugen's streaming it tomorrow. There you go. Yep, there have been a few folks taking a crack at it. And I thought it sounds pretty good. And it's pretty stunning. Like, I do enjoy the colors y'all picked for it, but I mean, I have to agree with Shark in that the Seafoam one is the standout for me, just in terms of like stunning quality. Like the others are much more versatile, probably, because they're more neutral, but Seafoam, something about that Seafoam really, really speaks to me. Oh yeah, the pink unit was lost, but then it was recovered, which is great. Yeah, somebody ended up like saying it was delivered and then going home with it or something like that. Just like, oh, grounds for dismissal. Yeah, I caught up on some of that in Discord. All right, we have to make some decisions. Gotta get back to this. Delivery guy thought today is a long weekend kind of day. Let's just say it's delivered and take it home, yeah. Why I might meet Godson halfway and hand it off, yeah. Yeah, it could be tricky. Yeah, I've mailed keyboards. I've mailed maybe 4 keyboards, and that's only been within, the continental United States. So I haven't had any issues yet, but with UPS and DHL it'll be fine. Yeah, mailed a keycap to the EU, made it safely. I mailed a keycap set to Nana, and that ended up getting there safely. Many used a shipping company, which apparently isn't that good. Now they're liable. Oh, that's a shame. Shame. Okay, let's get back to this. So, classic TKL. Yes, for sure. We've got the Monospace. We've got the Thermal. What's up, Eisenheim? Maybe that's why we don't have them in Germany. Monospace, in your opinion? Is there anything you would change about it? Let me pause this for a sec. It has alu plate and PBS caps on it right now. And oh, I can never remember the name of it. What is that? One of the film-themed HMX switches. Oh, the HMX KD200s. Monospace, you getting a terminal? Oh, a Typface terminal. I'm definitely considering it. Because that's a... hold on. Hold, please. I believe that is one that they were chatting to me about because they have shown it off in stories. Ba-da-ba. Hold on, let me get this to actually... I wish Instagram would like actually function sometime. Yeah, the terminal is, I believe, one that they wanted to send to me to take a look at. So I'm hoping that that does come to fruition. Because I do enjoy Typface boards quite a bit so far. Insta on Mac. I was just using the website. You like how different it is, Shark? Yeah, I do too. Because I don't see this layout, these keycaps, much out in the wild. And I think it's pretty funky. And it's got a Salvin artisan on it. It's also deeper than most of my other builds, which is kind of fun too. There is something I appreciate what PBS is trying to do. I do wish there was like a wee bit more texture on it. It's so smooth, which makes sense. Penguin belly slide after all. But sometimes I want a little bit more traction on my fingies. What have I missed? I got a Geon, Hammer Whites from Trade, about to rebuild. Your Neo 75, see you with them. Ooh, very nice, very nice. I did show this in the collection stream before. You are correct. You are correct. It has not changed since then. It's kind of just been sitting in its case. PBS 2 flat. Yeah. Especially with... I love the way it looks on this board, but the typing angle, because this is only, what, like a 6% typing angle? So it's not... It's a little bit flatter. And so sometimes I do wish that I had a more of a sculpted situation on this board. And I very well switched back to something sculpted, like when I used to rock Terminal on this. Because I think uniform, for long sessions, uniform is a bit too flat for something this low. I need a bit of an angle, then do it. Well, I only have 18 minutes left. All right, sure. Fuck it. Let's do it. Should we put... What should we put on here? Gotta go fast, like Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know that I want Terminal on here. I mentioned earlier, reiterating Shark's point, essentially, about like not necessarily wanting a full UV printed set. DCS Handerbite. That isn't out yet. Let's do something colorful like wob. I do have intro wob we could throw on here. Kaiju Dark. Well, Nikyu redeemed it, so it's Nikyu's choice. Yeah, okay. I've also got somewhere here, if I recall, oh, maybe it's in a box. Hold on. One of these. I had some DCS accents that we might want to throw in the mix. But I honestly, I'm not 100% sure of where those are right now. Oh, wait. Nope, that's a different thing. Honestly, my Fall Awesome sets look pretty dope on there too. I might consider that. But for now, we'll do what Nikyu asked. And pull out. Intro. Oh wait, here we go. Found them. Aha! Wob with colored sublegends. I don't believe I have something like that now. You can also do that. I'm open to anything. Might be fun to throw some of these really colorful ones on here. Some of these accents. But we got DCS Intro Wob here. We've also got a bay. That might be kind of fun. Let me grab something to chuck these keycaps into. We'll just use a box lid here. DCS Green Ghoul aware. I am aware of that, yes. Whew. It is getting toasty in my office. Kind of funny, he removed pricing. I mean, that's not an unusual Darien move, is it? Sometimes some shady stocking and pricing type stuff. His reputation is cooked? How so? I'm not aware. Tell me. Well, if you want to. Or if you deem it appropriate. I have not looked in his server in months, so I'm not aware of things fully. Oh, like people either love him or hate him? Okay, yeah. That is definitely something I've seen. It's interesting how people can develop these reputations. And I feel like it's easy to not be a jerk, but I don't know, maybe that's a skill issue. Thanks for following, Kevin. Appreciate that. And the people who love him tolerate anything that he does, yeah. Yeah, DCS Root Beer cloning Chocolatier, for example, yeah. I feel the same way about some of the stuff that like Carter does. Keycap designer. I feel like he's made some odd choices and also done some like crashing out over, well, speaking of DCS Handerbite, like somebody else moving forward with the DCS Handerbite run and him kind of crashing out about that because he had wanted to do it and had already made renders and da-da-da-da-da. And then like some more recent stuff of him kind of, I won't get into it, but I feel like capitalizing on the success of some recent very successful keycap runs with some suspiciously similar things of his own. Also, this may be a shortcoming of my own, but also for anyone who's running Dolch or something similar, there's a part of me that's just like, have an original idea a little bit. Maybe that's unfair. Carter owns Dolch. Yeah. I'm just like, we've seen Dolch. We've seen Dolch everywhere. Like, I guess it sells, but it's like, I don't know, have a new idea? Perhaps that's unfair. Designer wanted to do a collab with him. He's wanted to lock it behind keycap set by to be able to get the keyboard. Oh yeah, he is doing that with Dolch, right? Like, you have to buy the base kit of DCS Dolch in order to be eligible to buy the keyboard. Now he did pre-IC for the BKE set similarly. Yeah, well, that's what I was referencing. I didn't want to necessarily put it all on blast right here, but yeah, exactly. Which, you know, I want to give people the benefit of the doubt a little bit. But the channel for that project in his Discord existed a while ago, and there was a message that had a render of that keycap set from a while ago, like a couple years ago. But it was edited. It was an edited message. And that's the only one that was in there until very recently. And so it's kind of like, what was this channel originally? Was this message and this render something else, and now it's being made to look like he had this idea a long time ago? That's my thought. Completely unsubstantiated, because there's no way we can see edited Discord message history. Yeah, but that was for like the GameK Rainbow set. He had to collab with Diversity DKL and full PC. Designer didn't want to do it. Carter doesn't decide on it. I don't believe Carter thought of Grass Valley years ago. Otherwise, he would have done it. Yeah. See, that's my thought. But I also sometimes think the worst of people, for better or worse. And just like, that's a little shady. There are, but that's more so when it affects me directly, or like something I already am interested in, like Shark's Grass Valley set. You know, then I'm like, you're trying to capitalize on something, buddy. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe that's completely unfounded and unfair, but that is what I thought. Well, there are designers like that. They basically never run anything. Oh yeah, they just post ICs and they're like, it's mine, I own it. Even though you don't ever pursue it necessarily. I think what irks me the most is that he posted it the weekend my GB ended. Yeah, see, that's weird to me, for sure. I should probably double check. Intro has a numpad, right? I don't care that he's doing it. Yeah, I mean, it's best to not, you know, let people live rent-free in your head about that kind of nonsense. I think that is a good attitude to have. And then complain if somebody else does something similar 2 years after your IC was posted. Mad Max did that for GMK community competition. Someone new did a set, and he said, it's Pink Legends with gray caps. I did that with Distortion, which was only in an IC, which was old. Yeah. Real world here, first to market wins. Different people can have the same idea. No one owns colors. Yeah. The amount of keycaps that he is so-called working on is insane. Not sure if he's even following through every set. Yeah. Just kind of all-around shitty behavior, I think. Granted, that is one person's opinion. I have never run a keycap set or a group buy or anything like that, so this is an outsider's perspective, grain of salt, yada yada yada. Let's see, insert, home, go over here. I weirdly don't mind people doing a bunch of ICs, but don't go claiming designs if you don't do anything with it. Exactly. If you're just like squatting or something, that's shit. Shit, I say. I think there should be a rule that after 1 or 2 years not being around, somebody else can... Yeah, I think that'd be great. Like, it's essentially like going back in the public domain or something for whatever, or whatever that would be. TYUIOP. Like, yeah, then it becomes fair game or something. I love squatting. Now, is this related to keycaps, or is this like your preferred method of bowel movement? What are we talking about here, Kevin? I think it'd be fun to do an MT New Grass Valley. Ooh, hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Like if a designer dies, does the set die too? Well, maybe in that case, it's like whatever it is, 100 years or 99 years after the original creator's death, and then it goes back into the public domain or whatever the rules are. In general, yes, perched on the edge of the bowl. If I die, Jabronis can own Grass Valley colorway. Well, put it in my will. Oh, I'm honored. And Shark definitely will not die under suspicious circumstances. Let's see. I need to look at it. I need to reference a numpad. I'm rubbish. Oh, whoops. DCS intro wob. Listen, you were threatening me to bring my classic TKL, so don't leave your drink unattended. Yep. Ah, there we go. Okay. Just had to double check how numpads work. You know, normal stuff. I don't want that. Don't need that. This, however... I think the design stays with the designer, but just a colorway is not a design. Theme and art make the set, not just color matching. Yeah. Have you decided what I'm bringing? Yes. I think general consensus. I for sure am going to bring the classic TKL, and I think I am going to bring the Typface Monospace here. Just Fetty est, or did a redeem to change out the keycaps, so I'm just going to do that real quick. I don't know for sure that... Oh, whoops. Did I do this wrong? I think I really did. I don't know for sure that this will be the full look that I'll bring, but we'll cross that when we get to it. He was in the process until I disrupted him. Hello, everybody. Oh, yes, Miss Q, hello. I agree. I do think, though, if you want to use similar colors, ask the designer. Yeah, exactly. Like, I think that it's a common courtesy type thing. Like, hey... this is kind of similar to what you did or inspired by what you did. Are you cool with that? You know, would you rather me change something about it, make it more distinct, whatever? I think just showing some common courtesy is a good move. And oh, that doesn't go there. Go get your bowel movement going. I think you just need some soggy crisps, soggy shrimpy chips or whatever, whatever you were eating. That'll get things moving. Excited to be on the lookout. Oh, you're gonna be there, Ms. That's awesome. I will see you there. Soggy crisps. Ooh, I do. I am liking how DCS sounds on here. Maybe I will need to keep DCS. Oh god, I do not want those. Doesn't hurt to be nice. Exactly. Being nice is free. Doesn't cost you anything. And may benefit you more in the long run. What about designs like Dolce Skedata or Triumph Adler? Nobody owns them. I don't know, man. AS. Did I screw everything up? ASDFG. I like borked all of these rows. DCS makes my F1 spacebar pop so loud. I haven't tried DCS on my F1 yet. I should. Oh wait, I want to use colorful stuff down there. I'm miffed the KKB Triumph Adler never happened. That's not something I'm familiar with. Triumph, I don't think. Oh, this is why I screwed up. Why did Y end up over here? My brain is cooked. I'm in such a rush. That's row 2. I don't need any of those. Oh, I did want to do some blank down here instead of using the Windows keys. Carter will claim he owns Dolce. Yeah. I thought you wanted to be Sonic. Gotta go fast. Well, I didn't eat my chili dogs. I had a burger. I didn't know I was going to have to be Sonic the Hedgehog. I would have changed what I had for dinner if I was going to do that. What? Why? I don't know. I cannot answer that, Kevin. I have no idea why my brain put Y over here. That's just a normal F. Let's see. Let's do... Oh, that's not row 1. Stepped caps. Yes, please. There we go. There's row 1. Now you have rocket boost with the hot food. Tab. That is a numpad key. For sure. 1, 2, 3. And numpad 2. And numpad 7. There's Z. I also am glad... I like using this set, but I'm also not too worried about anything happening to it because I have so many DCS WOB. I guess they weren't fully rejects, but they were in the SP grab bags that I got, and so I have so many potential replacements for WOB stuff. Like I could almost field a whole nother keyboard with just bits and bobs from the WOB. Like I made a whole separate bag of just the stuff I sorted out from DCS WOB. It's a bit wild. I wonder if I should switch back to the copper accent for this. That might be kind of nice. There's my row 2 and... Oh, I do still need a row 2 delete. That might still be forthcoming here. There's 1. Oh, there's row 2 delete right there. Numpad 6 and numpad 4. Now, what do we got here? Long and skinny. I'm so excited when the Gion 70 goes into Group I finally want. FRL is one of my favorite layouts, honestly. Here's some color. This is for Chris. We're doing color for Chris. We've got some of our CMYK kind of accent vibes. We can kind of go CMYK themed here. With some of our different offerings here. So we have the choice quickly between doing the big ass enter, or we could do a very colorful enter. I'm kind of leaning towards big ass and then doing colorful stuff down here. So we've got cyan, we got some purples. So I guess I actually don't need these blanks here. And we also don't need the shifts. We don't have anything colorful for the numpad, but that's okay. Yay, colors! Yes, big ass enter for sure. Did you see the color matched big ass enter stuff that Sneakbox is going to have at KeyCon, Shark? I might have to pick up. There's a really nice yellow one I might have to pick up. I think for the sake of actuating more smoothly, I might remove that switch and just have it run on stabs and the pipe or split backspace switch instead, just to make it not as cumbersome, not as tiresome to actuate. Sent you the pics of the board is working on next. Secrets! I won't show them. I won't show anything. Ooh. That is cute. You can show. Well, let me chuck them into my browser so I can actually... All right. Look at that. Look at that cutie. Oh, little cutie cat. And it looks really good with the blanks, too. Not a secret. That's cool. And I love the weight engraving on the back, too. It's really cute. And the little corner swoop towards the feet is a really nice touch. Cat. Kitty cat. It's so cute. That's really nice. I like that. And I don't even go in for cat-themed stuff much. All right, so let's do... So we got our bright yellow shifts. And then we need... So we got some supers. And they're big ones. And we got controls that are the funky kind of banana keys. What do we think? Do we want banana keys? Like these kinds of weirdos? That'd be kind of fun, right? And so we kind of have that available in Alt and Control and Super. So I can kind of arrange it however I want. Ooh, wait, we can do arrows. Arrows, arrows, arrows. Bananas. I agree. If we're leaning into the funk, let's do it. And I wish my terrazzo accent was a little more colorful, but I think it's still fun. Don't have space for that function. Wait, we do have... There is a numpad enter that is colorful. I totally missed this. We have this one. I have not peeked into this kit in a while. Okay. Let's do maybe supers and then alts and then controls is what I'm thinking right now. Something like this. I'll just do super on the inside because I'm a Mac user. And then is the, oh no, we have multiple colors here. We've got some cyan arrows. There we go, cyan. And some pink arrows. Where's the others? This. So we could do a mix. What do we think? Cyan or pink over here? Or both? Like we could do, like the middle is one color. So you could do like pink up and down and cyan left and right. Might be kind of fun. Sent more pics. Oh my goodness. I'm running out of time, Niku. I just needed to stop streaming 7 minutes ago. It's okay. You got a little bit of wiggle room here. Side profile is the big thing. Okay, let me pull that up real quick then. Oh, Nelly. All right, let me pull a couple of these in real quick. Side profile. That's quite handsome. Because it's kind of got a little cherry lip on the front. And then it's got this nice, very smooth kind of chamfer on the side there. Oh, and a purple one too. That is a hot purple. Very nice. Oh, the purple's the reference. Gotcha. Okay, yeah, I can see the distinction here. I like honestly what you did here with a smoother curve on the side than this one. Like that's interesting with the wave shape, but I don't like the hard line as much, or the harder line. I like that it's a little bit softer. That's my preference, at least. Yes, do that. Oh, was that about the arrows, Chris? Yeah, because then we can have a little separation here from pink. Although now I'm wondering if I should swap. If we keep pink and cyan farther away from the arrows, that might be nice. Since the arrows are only pink and cyan. So, I'm making this harder on myself, I realize. So if we keep purple on the outside, no, that wouldn't work, because the purples are super. I'm an idiot. Purple has to be... Yeah, super doesn't make sense there. Never mind. Carry on. My brain is cooked. It is so freaking hot in my office right now. Really old board from Bowl is beginning to still regret selling that. Oh, nice. Yeah, I wish I'd been aware of Bowl sooner, back in with some of his earlier stuff. All right, pink up and down, and we'll do... That's kind of fun. What do we think about that? Kind of a funky board. A layout you don't see too much, and then we got DCS intro wob, as well as a bunch of kind of CMYK themed accent pieces, and the bay, which I think kind of helps combine the funk a little bit. It is funny having like this so close to that. Although I think I'm trying to remember if the PCB allows you to do mirrored numpad. If it does, I might look into that actually, just to give the colors a little bit more room to breathe from each other. But good pick, no? Yes, thank you for asking me to rebuild this. Here, this will allow me to do a better job with the thumbnailing here. It's kind of fun. It's fun, it's weird, and it's a fun layout. Okay, so that decides it. So I will bring the Typface Monospace. And I think we'll make it a DCS party. And we'll do DCS intro wob with the colored accents on here to make it kind of funky. And then also bring the EC converted classic TKL. Since Shark has threatened my life multiple times to bring it. So, and just for anyone watching that as a joke, that is not legally actionable in any way. Yeah, I think this will be a fun combo, and honestly, it's not very heavy at all. It has a case, so I think these will be easy enough to tote along and be fun and funky for this trip. And I am way over time, so let's see who we can raid real quick. I assume Alex is going, right? Who's streaming right now? So I can get this dunzo here. Yep, I see Alex. All right, let's Let me get him pulled up here so I understand what's going on here. Ooh, building a schema. Very cool. Thank you all for being here and giving your input and insight into what to do. Thank you for the rebuild idea, NEQ. I think it's going to be very fun. I'll double check the stabs and everything before I actually pack it up and see if I want to change anything about it. But I appreciate you all being here and giving your input. Everybody go buy the Lumen TKL. It's very nice. Let me get this raid started up here. And yes, Shark, I will see you this weekend. Absolutely. And we are going to have a blast. And we'll be back next week. I will have a recap of KeyCon. Maybe we'll look at some pictures. Any swag or whatever, anything I picked up, we'll take a peek. We'll go over how it went. And yes, I will see it soon in person. I'm very excited to type on it. That's going to clinch it for me probably whether I jump in July. So, okay. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. See ya.